The Nigeria Football Federation has lodged a formal protest with FIFA over the appointment of South African and Beninese officials for Nigeria's crucial 2026 World Cup qualifying playoff against Gabon in Rabat. Now, the NFF argued that assigning referees from nations involved in Nigeria's qualifying group undermines neutrality, especially after Benin Republic's elimination by Nigeria. The Federation cited a conflict of interest, noting South African officials will handle both the on-field and VAR duties. The issue also gained traction following remarks from South Africa's Sports Minister Gayton McKenzie, who openly on South African radio opposed Nigeria's qualification hopes. Veteran football journalist Osasu Obayiuwana has been following the story closely, and he joins us now tonight on, from Lagos, Nigeria. Osasu, thank you so much for coming through tonight on Game On. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I know I've been keeping you from your beauty sleep, but we won't be keeping you for much longer. First and foremost, what is it with South Africa and Nigeria? They've qualified, right? But is there, and there are those who are saying that maybe we're reading too much into it, that there's no foul play, that there's no skullduggery at work. But looking at which is the more flagrant, do I say, red flag here? The fact that they are all South African referees, or the fact that the South African Minister of Sports went on Robert Marawa's show, a show that you were on barely days before, insisting that he doesn't want Nigeria to qualify?
Well, let me go with the second question you asked. I think if you're a minister of a big country like South Africa, you are responsible for the image of the country before the world. You are responsible for ensuring that your country is in good relations with other countries on the African continent. It's quite surprising that a sports minister would utter the kind of words that Gayton McKenzie did. I think they were in extremely bad taste, and it did not do the image of the government of South Africa any good with regards to its relations with Nigeria. It was ill-advised and quite poor. So when you look at what he said and the strength with which he said it, it is no surprise that Nigerians are up in arms regarding the appointment of a South African referee, assistant referee, and head of VAR for the game against Gabon.
Well, I think we still have that video from yesterday. If my director can't play it, just play it now so we can hear exactly what Gayton McKenzie said regarding Nigeria's World Cup qualification hopes.
I just say one quick thing. Sure, no problem. I heard you earlier saying that we will root also for Nigeria. I want to make it very clear. I wish for them not to qualify. I just want to make that one clear. They tried. I knew what they did behind the scenes. Yeah. You're a far better man than me. I knew what they did behind the scenes for us not to get there. I want them to lose. They must not go to the World Cup. And another African country must go.
You don't like them that much?
No, it's not that. I give the energy you give.
Yeah.
They don't like us, we don't like them. And that's the soccer, and it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's like Chiefs and Pirates. You know, they don't like each other, but it's not personal. You know, those boys didn't just qualify.
Well, that's South African Minister of Sports, Gayton McKenzie. Kazim Elegbede is still on the line. Kazim, is it true that we don't like South Africa and South Africa don't like us? Is that true?
Today, honestly, it is extremely unfortunate that a public officer in South Africa could be talking like this. And it shows the level of decadence at the government level to nowadays. I mean, you can have a personal opinion, but whatever you say as the minister of South Africa, you represent the whole country. So bringing your personal opinion to bear on the country on a good day, if South Africans are up and doing, I'm talking about their government, that should have been removed. I mean, because he has portrayed his country in a very, very negative image. And it's unfortunate that South Africa will be doing this to Nigeria. I mean, we know the role we played for South Africa to be where they are today. And it's not the first time. They are not the only ones who has beef with Nigeria. Nigeria is the best. And we are proud of it and we are loud about it. Africans don't like it. Then let them suck it up. Okay, but bring the personal opinion is very, very terrible. And today, I need to also say this. I mean, I'm aghast at the level of incompetence, at the association levels when it comes to appointing match officials. For crying out loud, the worst school on earth will not make this kind of a mistake. Nigeria played in the South African group, in the Benin Republic group, and then you are bringing officials from the two countries to come and officiate a playoff. I'm happy the NFF has risen up to the task, and honestly, I would rather we don't go to that World Cup if they insist the officials will officiate. Let Gabon then take a walkover. Because let me tell you, I want Nigeria to go to the World Cup. That's a fact. But we have to make a statement. No matter how good a team is, officials are the best to throughout whatever you're doing. We have seen it several times. You know, what way to make a statement? NFF should be very, very vigorous in their protest and make sure that those officials are changed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tony, you had a question for us also?
Yeah, not really a question, but maybe just a little bit of my own opinion about all of this. I'm even more disturbed about the undercurrents that they talk about. They said Nigeria did some things behind the scene, and it's the general perception of Nigeria. We're not so much calling into question the competence of those referees. They are solid, top referees, and they've handled a lot of our games before. You know, we know them as South African referees are some of the best on the continent, and some of them have even gone on to officiate at the world level. You know, but we are looking at the general atmosphere of the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa. They accused us. It was the coach, Hugo Bruce, that started it. You know, and he painted a picture of Nigeria working so hard to, undermine them. And it spread to the general public. So the average South African believes Nigeria did a lot of things behind the scene to frustrate them. And what did Nigeria do? We did nothing. They committed an offense, and it was taking like forever for the offense to be, looked into and dealt with. And a lot of people said, FIFA, what's going on? What's the status of this issue? So, I mean, what's the offense in that? Because we're in the same. So it's the general perception, and a friend as well. A top journalist in South Africa also said Nigeria did a lot of things behind. What did Nigeria do? Did we tell FIFA to ban South Africa? Did we make moves to? I don't understand. So is that general perception that?
That's the question I need to ask us as well. Right. So why do South Africans have this impression that Nigeria
went overboard?
That we went overboard, or Nigerians don't like them, or we don't? But Gayton McKenzie himself is a rather colorful character in South Africa, a former convicted criminal. Who eventually changed his life around, became South African minister. This was also a man who also created an NGO and donated money to it. Remind you that he created barely days earlier and donated. So he's a colorful character. He doesn't exactly have the most sterling of records when he should be speaking about what is right or what is wrong or what is underhand and what is proper.
Generous in your description of the minister. He was a convicted bank robber, okay? He also was a member of the Numbers gang in Portsmouth prison. If you know what the Numbers gang does in South African prisons, he was a bad character. And this is normally somebody with this type of record should not be a minister of the Republic of South Africa. But this is the state of South African politics today. With regards to this issue of Nigeria trying to undermine them, that's just a load of codswallop. All Nigeria asked for, and all Benin asked for, was for FIFA to just implement the rules as they are clearly laid out. You played with a player who had 2 yellow cards. He is not supposed to play. You played him, and there is a consequence for that. And you are expecting your opponents to let that go. And you now say that because they insisted on the rules being applied, that they were trying to undermine you. That's just a load of nonsense. And I think South Africa should be better than this, frankly. You've already qualified for the World Cup, despite the blunder, which the person responsible for that blunder in South Africa is being given a pass. The minister came out and said, the team manager of Bafana missed those yellow cards because he went to go and get ice for the team, as if the team manager is the ice boy of Bafana. I mean,
sorry to cut you short, Osasu. We actually have a caller from Sunday from Abuja. Sunday, thank you so much for joining the show tonight. What's on your mind? Hello, Sunday. I think we've lost Sunday. But Osasu, coming back to you, there are those who are actually, a lot of South Africans detest you. Let me just say that up front. They have said that you, more than anyone else, has been pushing this agenda that the South Africa and Nigeria at loggerheads. You are the one consistently on your Twitter handle saying that, you know, FIFA should do the right thing and ensure that justice is done. You have also been the one raising the issue how there are South African officials on pitch and also VAR officials as well. But is there any, in your own opinion, is there any foul play afoot, considering the fact that, you know, South Africa and Nigeria were in the same qualifying group, and also the CAF president is also South African, but this, but Sunday is back. Sunday is back. Sunday from Abuja. Thank you so much. What's on your mind?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Now, I advise, let FIFA or whatever bring the officials from South Africa to come and officiate our match. From South Africa.
Okay. All right, yeah, so I think Sunday is not happy about that. But Osasu, coming back to you, the question is asking, in your opinion, is there any foul play afoot? Because, I mean, it's FIFA that actually makes this refereeing appointment, not CAF.
Well, they do it in conjunction with CAF. The whole qualification series is managed by CAF, but of course in cooperation with FIFA. I think it just does not show wisdom on the part of those responsible for referees' appointments to be appointing referees from countries that were direct rivals to Nigeria in qualifying. You made a Beninois the referee's match assessor. You made a South African the center referee, an assistant referee, and the head of the VAR room. I mean, Africa is a continent of 54 or 55 countries. There are so many other people you can appoint that would avoid any accusations of bias or unfairness. So why this? I am not saying that the South African officials have a mission to bring Nigeria down. I have not said that. But I think the optics of this appointment look very bad, and it shouldn't have been made.
I agree. Okay, so we have Anthony from Port Harcourt joining us as well. Anthony, thank you so much for coming through. What's on your mind?
I find this very, very painful. You know, that Nigeria will be talking about who is officiating which game, who is not officiating which game. It's very distasteful. I mean, if we are up to what we used to be, it doesn't matter. Even if they bring the referee from the moon, we should be able to beat Gabon. What is all this talk of they are bringing a South African officials? They will not be favorable to Nigeria. We should be able to beat these people, whoever is officiating, black, white, yellow, anybody. So this talk is, I mean, you could the 94 class that went to the World Cup for the first time. How many times did we hear about all these kind of funny stories? Because we have the players we have in the Super Eagles right now. They don't have any business in there. They are not committed. That's it. That's why we are doing all this shenanigans. Okay.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Kazim, let me come back to you. Do you agree with Anthony that, look, irrespective of the refereeing, that Nigeria shouldn't be, panicking regarding the status of their officiating against in match against Gabon? Do you agree?
Today, Anthony is entitled to his opinion, and I respect it. But at least you have been in this profession for a very, very long time. I will just call your attention, if you can remember, the Champions League semi-final, second leg between Chelsea and FC Barcelona, officiated by Ovrebo from Norway. Ovrebo practically stopped Chelsea from qualifying for the final. Anybody who remembers that game will know what I'm talking about. When you are talking about people who can easily affect and disrupt a match, no matter how good your team is, the first person is the referee, followed by the assistants. I mean, easily, it's just a matter of throwing a blind eye to one of offside move, and they score, and that's the end of the game. So, yes, you can
look at it on something and say
that shouldn't bother. And say, Nigeria shouldn't bother about who the officials are. The truth of the matter is, officials are extremely important, and they are human beings. Like everybody said on the program, nobody is querying the referees, but they are human beings.
Okay, so really sorry to cut you short, Kazim. We have Daniel from Port Harcourt. Daniel, thank you so much for coming through. What's on your mind? You want to join in the conversation?
Yes, good evening. A great job you guys are doing there. But I think that we must first realize that football is not just that 90-minute game played on the field. There are the business before and after. And it should be clear to everyone that among all of the referees in Africa, why South Africa that we are in the same group? Why Benin Republic that we are in the same group? So I think those in charge can do better. But one most important...
Thank you. Thanks for calling, Daniel.
Let me also add something very quickly.
Very quickly.
To
Need to ask Osasu.
You know, before we played Rwanda, we had escaped in Libya.
Yes, true.
The horrors of Libya. And guess what? Our next game against Rwanda, Libyan referee. Until the NFF complained that,
Why?
The previous match day was a terrible experience we had, and our players could have lost a whole generation of players.
So we must give NFF some
So they reacted and said, no, we're not we just finished a diplomatic issue with Libya over that matter. And you are now bringing a Libyan referee to officiate our next game.
So Daniel, so you agree with Daniel that it goes beyond the pitch. There are also issues surrounding
we
the
are
game.
Not questioning the competence of those referees.
No.
We are just talking about the general spirit.
The optics
around it.
Okay, Osasu, before we let you go, I need to ask you this question. You've gone out on your Twitter handle and said that you have it on good authority that the South African officials will be changed. So is it only the center referee that will be changed, or the entire refereeing team and the VAR team?
I only talked about speculation. I have no confirmation of anything regarding the referee. Whether he will be changed, we'll have to see. I don't know, but the person who spoke to me is somebody who has very good knowledge of refereeing within CAF. So I am just waiting like everybody else. All I just did was to simply report my conversation with him. It's going to be tough to change the referee, especially, I mean, when you consider that today is what now? Today is the 8th, right? Or the 7th, I beg your pardon. The match is on the 13th, so that's in just basically 6 days from now. So if they are going to make a change of the referee, they would have to make that change very, very quickly. And they would have to rejig the whole team very, very quickly. We just have to wait and see. I wish this mistake hadn't been made in the first place. They could have appointed referees from so many other parts of the continent that would not have brought about the controversy that we are seeing now, which is rather unfortunate.
Well, thank you so much, Osasu Obayiuwana, for your time. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. We'll be reaching out to you more in the coming days ahead of that qualifier between Nigeria and Gabon. But we have another call from Calabar, I believe. Otitong from Calabar? Otobong from Calabar.
I'm still here if you want me to.
Yes, please. But Otobong from Calabar, thank you so much for joining us. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Thank you for this topic you guys just brought up. Of course, the referees should be professionals. They should understand what is at stake. But like the other guys talked about the optics are very, very necessary at this point in time, because we had South Africa in our group and we understood what happened when Nigeria and other teams called for South African points to be deducted, of course, and what their minister said. So I don't think it's good for African football. I just wish that CAF didn't go through this route. I wish they can do something about it, because right now Nigerians are watching, and of course you can see the way Nigerians are reacting. Thank you for having me. I'll be calling back. I'm waiting when the NFF board and chairman will be back. So I have a lot of questions to ask. Thank you.